Hey there, welcome to day 949 of What You Up To Now. It's Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, thinking about a creepy filter. Do you have a creepy filter? And I'm thinking about it primarily because I just did a video through my Supersize Your Business page with a split screen where it actually had two heads. We were talking about better half, and so I was looking for something that would be like a half filter. You know, we have these different filters on Facebook if you're watching me, or we can do different filters and sound effects and things on our podcast, which, since we know I don't edit anything, I'm the unedited version of myself. I don't use those, but I know that they're available. And one of these days, I will get somebody on my podcast and on my other social media accounts to actually put on intros, put on outros, put in outtakes, pull and do all kinds of fancy stuff. But for right now, it's just me doing my own videos. So no editing, no filtering. It is what it is. But my creepy filter thoughts go from an actual physical online filter or what are they called, frames or screens, to do you have a creepy filter in your life? Do you have an intuition filter where you actually listen to the messages and the signals that you're getting in your body and from the environment? I think we've all had that feeling where we're in a situation or we're around someone or we're in a place that just gives us that either tingly, creepy back of our neck feeling, or something in the pit of your stomach just doesn't feel right. And I'm just curious if other people have that. Do you have, I call it the creepy filter, because sometimes for no apparent reason, everything looks fine on the outside, I just get this wave of something's wrong, move, or something's wrong, change where you are, get out of here, do something different. And so I call it it's like spidey senses. You know, Spider-Man has spidey senses. We all have that to a lesser or greater extent based on whether we listen to it or not. And I spent most of my life not listening to my creepy filter. And what did that do? Not listening to my intuition or my gut about things. It caused me to get in situations, get in partnerships, make mistakes that I probably could have avoided had I listened to and really considered how things make me feel. But creepy filter is what popped into my brain today as far as what I'm working on, what I'm thinking about now, and how can I actually pay more attention to that. So I might look up and do some resources on that today. Get Up and Go Challenge today is actually for the month of September 2020. I'm doing a setup for success. And so I'm just talking every day about a different topic. And usually it's a great big lesson learned, or it's something that a lot of people have been asking me about. So for today, we talked about how do you cope? What are some coping mechanisms then? And what do you do? What kind of things can you use? What kind of tools and techniques and strategies? What kind of tools and techniques and strategies can you use to cope? And now as I'm talking about it, I realize I didn't talk about the coping mechanisms and the things to avoid, the short-term things like alcohol, drugs, sleep, you know, pharmaceutical medications, or even over-the-counter things that numb us from actually experiencing how we feel. Because guess what? Our feelings really tell us how something is affecting us, and no one else can feel our feelings for us, only we can. And so I personally have a big pushback on pharmaceuticals and anything that alters how we feel, if it numbs us and it prevents us from really knowing what's going on with us. And I mean, even with vitamins and supplements. And I take a lot of vitamins and supplements. That's kind of my thing, because I know that there's no way I can eat all the things I need to eat to stay healthy, because our food sources are so, I'm going to say adulterated or bastardized or whatever you want to use. They're so messed up from altering the process of creating our products and services, the foods that we eat and consume. They're more like food-like substances. Even if you eat really good organic things, they're all altered. I mean, all of our food sources have lost so much of their nutritional value. And I learned 10 years ago now that I couldn't possibly eat the things that I need to sustain and support a healthy body and a healthy mind and a healthy everything. So I started supplementing and experimenting with different vitamins and things. So I was thinking about that today as part of the Supersize Your Business video today. Was the better half, and I didn't realize I even had thoughts or feelings about the expression until I realized where it came from, what it means, and how we can use it actually to treat everyone in our lives and all of our relationships. And it's not about somebody being better or worse than anyone else. It's about treating people the way you want to be treated. I mean, honestly, treating other people the way you want to be treated. If you want to be treated with dignity and respect, you treat everyone else with dignity and respect. If you want to be treated with love and admiration, you find things to love and admire in every single person, every human that you come in contact with. And I realized that better half to me implies this whole ranking system where somebody is better than someone else. And yeah, there's always going to be somebody that's better at some aspect or something that you want to do. But you're also going to be better than a whole lot of people at that thing. No matter how many people or no matter who you're comparing yourself to. I think one of the biggest disservices we do to ourselves is by ever comparing ourselves to anyone else. Nobody is you. Nobody has the same set of experiences, thoughts, feelings, stories, etc. that you do. And so it's impossible to compare ourselves to anyone else. Yet it is such human nature to compare ourselves to people about everything. I don't know about you, but as I transitioned from the brick and mortar world, the offline world to the online world, I didn't realize that I really compared myself to people a lot, and I didn't think that I did it offline. I didn't think that I did it in my businesses. I guess I probably always did. I just didn't do it at such a conscious level and at such a in my own face level as online. Because online, there's access to so much more information. And maybe it was just because I was naive and I didn't know all the things about my competitors and what was going on. Whereas online, you can do research, you can do all kinds of things and find out all this information about your competitors. But you're still only comparing one little piece of what they're doing right now to what you're doing. And everything that they've done leading up to what you're seeing right now, it might be entirely different than what you're doing. So often we see these overnight successes online, and now I just laugh at them because I know, and I know the backstories of so many really successful people now, and that what they show online, the stories that they tell online, are scripted and manufactured to create a certain impression. And they are only a tiny sliver. It's the whole iceberg effect. You know, we only see a teeny bit of the iceberg above the ice or above the water, and below is this huge conglomerate, this huge portion of what really goes on. And that's how all of us are. We're all just little reflections of a teeny piece of us, a teeny part of us. The part of us that we show to the world is small in comparison to all the others. And the same is true of people's stories online about, you know, their success and what they're doing and what they're not. And it's all interpreted through the filter of how do I want to show up in the world? What do I want people to see? And when we remember that, when we realize that, it helps us to be more clear on, is this information for me or not? What pieces of this information can I use? Because I think you need to find, I know with 100% certainty, you need to find your own way and your own path and your own success to, or your own success strategy, your own success journey. You have to do it, I have to do it. We have to pick and choose from the people that we are attracted to, the pieces of what they're doing that will apply to us and will work for us. My ex-husband and I were in a lot of we're in a bunch of real estate coaching programs, and some of them, it was interesting to see how different people utilized that coaching. And it was all based on where were they when they entered the coaching program. We were in a different spot than a lot of people when we entered certain coaching programs, and we came at it with a different desire of what we expected the outcome to be of those programs than a lot of people that came in. I didn't realize that until we actually experienced it, but because of the difference in terms of what we expected out of the program, we got far, far more than our money's worth out of any coaching program we ever joined. But there were other people that joined, and these were like, $50K plus coaching programs. There were other people that were in the exact same coaching program as we were, and they never made a single dollar, much less their investment back. And maybe they were in a different spot than us. They were just there to learn and understand and grow, and to them, it was worth that investment to get that knowledge, find out what would work, and they could pick and choose what would work for them. So that is my whole diatribe on better half. Better half. Do you think of your partner as a better half? Do you realize that each and every one of us are you know, there's more to us than just what meets the eye. We have the original definition of better half was that everybody is a body and a soul. There's two parts to every human being, and of course it was determined by the Puritans that the spiritual half, the soul, was of course the better half. But then that was turned to apply to marriages or partnerships, and better half was whoever was the better partner. So I think it was, you know, back when they changed the definition of better half from a spirit and body type thing within an individual to bringing two individuals together, because it automatically assumed comparison in different criteria. Oh, she was a more religious person, so she was the better half with respect to religion. He made more money, he made the money in the relationship, therefore he was a better half with respect to earning money and finances. And nowadays, you know, relationships, it isn't just a husband and a wife. It's whatever partnership. And maybe it's a business partnership. You know, one partner brings the money, one partner brings the work. So which one's the better half? What's more important, the money or the person that does all the work? Personal experience with that, whether I have been the money partner and the working partner, and very seldom do they both feel that they give the same amount of value to the business and the end results. That's a topic for another day. So better half, very interesting topic, a lot more loaded, and a lot more can go into it than I ever really thought. So I talked about the setup for success for the month of September. I'm going to do setup for success on the Get Up and Go challenge page, and then in October we'll launch into another 30-day plus challenge. And I want to buy myself some time with the month of September, which is why I'm doing the setup for success and just talking about different questions and answers and topics that have come up time and time again. And guess what? They don't just apply to online business. They apply to any type of business, but not even just to business. They apply to our lives. I mean, coping mechanisms, they apply to our whole lives, not just the work we do, the business, the professional version of ourselves. Fun challenge today was kind of interesting because it was about shopping. And I don't know about you, but I have done virtually no shopping this year, like physically going into a store and shop. I have done online shopping. I guess I could have asked what are your top 5 stores for online shopping? That might have been, oops, interesting. Gotta keep my ducks in a row. Oh no, it's a duckapalooza. They're falling everywhere. All right, I'll get that later. So today, I'm actually having a sleepover with my granddaughter. Fortunately, I haven't woken her up yet doing my talking, but we're gonna hang out and have a fun day because she starts kindergarten tomorrow and I don't get to hang out with her every day. And I am gonna actually have to come up with some coping mechanisms for this whole lockdown, shutdown, COVID things that don't involve hanging out with my amazing little granddaughter. That's part of why I do my challenges. All right, if I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm going to go start my day. I encourage you to have an absolutely phenomenal, amazing day. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, join me on the Get Up and Go challenge page, or hop into the Get Up and Go challenge private Facebook group, because that's where you can see all of the previous Get Up and Go challenges in the units section in order. And I think this setup is going to be the unit 5. So there's lots of valuable information and coping mechanisms and strategies in there that I guarantee can help you deal with anything that you're facing. Have an awesome day. I'll of course be tomorrow.